Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, even.
Good evening.
Good evening. Well, I may as well get them all. Yeah, get them all in.
Yeah.
Come out of the way.
Right.
Hello to everyone on this last Friday of May. Another month gone. Another bank holiday coming up.
Phew.
One that's exciting because, of course, the weather is meant to be really good, unlike the last one, which is a complete washout. And of course, half term next week. Of course, it's always a fun time for anybody who's a parent.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Just want to go through a couple of things really today. First one that's really exciting news that we've done something this week, I think, and we have moved offices in Lancaster. I say people who have been past our office on Church Street in Lancaster may have noticed some upheaval over the last few weeks as we've been getting stuff ready. Most people probably haven't, because of course town centres are not being as busy, and dare I say, estate agents' offices aren't actually as busy with footfall anymore either, which is one of the reasons why we've moved offices. So we have moved. We've gone somewhere where it's really easy to come and see us. So there's parking right on the doorstep. You can drive right up. You don't have to bother with going around Lancaster's one-way system, which I did this morning, and one lane was closed. It took 45 minutes to get round it. Don't have to bother with any of that anymore. So we've moved to Riversway House, which is right in off Greyhound Bridge. It's on Morecambe Road there. You can just drive right up, come in and see us, and it's a really good spot. The team have really taken to it as well. It's good, and it just allows us to be a bit more flexible. So let's say we can have people come in, we can have people come and see us with that parking, but also it allows us to then advertise our properties better. So it allows us to sort of expand our technology, expand our ideas, and make sure that properties that are on with us are in the right place at the right time and in front of the right people.
That's important.
So it's an exciting opportunity. We would welcome anyone who wants to come and see us. Just have to let us know, because at the moment it is by appointment only due to COVID restrictions. But if you want to come in, have a look round, see the team, we are there. But give us a call, drop us a message. We'll discuss with that a bit more in depth. But it's great. You'll see the press release later on, sort of along that lines, just to let everyone know. But really exciting. We're absolutely buzzing that we've moved. It's a great little spot. And actually, I don't know if you've been into Lancaster, Howard. If you drive out of Lancaster towards Morecambe across Greyhound Bridge, we're on a ground floor office, and you drive past, you can sort of see us and have a little wave.
I believe you can. I believe you can wave. And pop, maybe like you said, pop in for a coffee. But touching on that there, I think for a number of years now, and this last 15, 16 months has probably just speeded up, shall we say, that system. I think estate agents are going that way anyway. I think we have been doing, me personally, I've been doing it for 2 years, not working out of a particular office in that way, and I think that's the way it's going. Foot flow's not the same anymore. You don't get people coming in, and even more so now. Well, you don't get anyone coming in now. Very rarely. The shop window now for us is it's just this, isn't it? It's the internet, it's the right, it's Super. It's very much the social media aspects of it, and so it's
it was changing. The last I would say 3 to 4 years, it has been changing to a more dynamic way of doing things, and away from that traditional. You need to come in to the office, or you need to get the old newspaper. I mean, only going back 5 years ago, you had the newspaper with a property guide in, where you'd look at it or you came in and sat down, because that's the only way you could see them. Everything now is instant.
It is instant.
You can see everything on Rightmove, Zoopla, our own website, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In fact, all the virtual viewings that we do, you can view a house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is moving that way. COVID has accelerated it, most definitely.
That's the word I was thinking, accelerated. The other thing as well, I know you mentioned obviously how we market stuff, but I mean, what it enables us to do as a company though is to spend, let's say to spend money what we were spending in an office. It allows us to spend more money on marketing your properties, basically, and getting them out there, and getting them seen where people can see them. They're not going to go see them walking past an office. We're just paying for a big office that people are just walking past. So let's reinvest that money in doing what we do best.
Well, that's what we
Marketing
plan to
properties.
do. We had left Zoopla last year, for instance, so we've gone back on Zoopla with that.
Yeah.
And we're also going to invest in more specific training, as for the team, make sure they're really on fire with it. But it's the environment. The environment is much better. The office space is much better. It will allow the team to focus better. And they're really hyped about it, and are loving being in there. So yeah, like I say, we're there, Rivers Way House. We'd love for people to come and have a look at it, but by appointment only. Don't forget that bit. That's a COVID thing at the moment. Yeah.
it might change. Comes June the 21st. Nah.
Well, it might do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't guarantee it, but it might do. It might do.
Yeah,
Let's hope so. So yeah, that was the first bit. Really exciting news. The other thing I wanted to talk about, Howard, is something that we've discussed quite a lot in the past. Is this whole selling a property before it goes on the market. Obviously, people may have seen a bit of our advertising recently. Unfortunately, we're launching properties and they have sold straight away. And people have a lot of things to say about that. And I thought we'd be good to discuss and just get your thoughts on it and my thoughts on it. It's a shame Matt's not here to get his thoughts on it, but
no. But one of the things you say launch it. When sometimes people get mixed up and they say launch it, but we do. Yeah. When you're marketing a property, right? Your job as an estate agent, our job as an estate agent is. And I'll tell you, I go back several years actually, so just to come on that. In fact, I will do actually. We've not mentioned this bit now, but I'm going back now, Kevin, about 20 years ago, right? Yeah. 20 years ago, when it was a different market, when the newspaper would come out on a Friday, we'd have Rightmove. I think we had Rightmove then. I think we did. Yeah, we had Rightmove then, 20 years ago. But it'd come out on a paper, and I remember I was working in Leyland at the time. Can't remember the address, but I was working in Leyland. And I went out to this house, did a valuation, and the guy said, "Look, can you put it on the market?" And to be fair, I went around and made a lot of details then. Couldn't take the photographs; it was night time. And we're talking. It was probably about 6:30. That night, I left that house. Okay, I left the house at 6:30 at night. I went back to the office, filled out what paperwork I needed to do, and prepared for the following day, because that's what we do. Prepare for the following day. Ring tomorrow's customers. How you doing? Anyway, this house had been out to. I thought to myself, I've got 2 or 3 people that tick their box, and one specific person who was proceedable. And I rang this guy up and I said, and I tell you that the house was on the market at 240 or something like that back then. So I rang up and I said, look, I've got a house, it's coming to the market, I've just been out to it now, I've just signed it up, I've not taken any photographs yet, I can't send you anything by pigeon, because it was 20 years ago. No, I can't send you anything. I said, but when can you go and view it? And that evening, Kevin, right, I swear to God, right, I rang up and I said, I know I've just left your house. It's 8 o'clock at night. I said, yeah, I've not got home yet, but listen, I've got someone that can come and view it. Can he view it tonight? And send him round. So I sent him round. The following day, the guy that had viewed it was waiting for me at the office. This was in Huff Lane in Leyland. And he said to me, as I walked in, he said, I want that house, I'll pay the asking price. That was then, okay?
Yep.
That was then. I rang up the vendor, and he said, I'll tell you what, I'll pop in. It was only around the corner. I'll pop in and see you. He came in, and he sat down in front of me and said, the gentleman that viewed your house last night really likes it. He's proceedable. He doesn't want to mess around. He'll offer you the asking price, 240. And this is it. So the point I'm saying about all this is our job is to sell the house. It's not to advertise it. It's to sell the house. The gentleman said to me, well, are you going to do the estate agent fee cheaper? I said, why? He said, because we've not been in the paper yet. We've not been on Rightmove. You've not even printed the stuff out to put in the window. So the point is that some people think it's got to be seen everywhere. And so I have seen some social media comments where people say, "Oh, why is it advertised when you've already sold it?" Our job is to sell the house and get the best possible price for that person. And some people get them all mixed up. That was 20 years ago. When someone said that to me.
Yeah, I think just going on to that, like we mentioned, so you going out and going to value somebody's house.
Yeah,
I call it value. You're not really valuing it. Going to discuss someone about marketing their house.
You're probably really going to confirm the price.
So that was going to be my point. Is that most people you go out don't actually want to know the value of the house. They want to know or confirm what they think is the value of the house and say what you can do for them essentially. And that's what it is.
I'd go along with that.
So if we can put somebody in front of them in the next hour who will give them the value that we've just confirmed, because that's what they want and that's what they need to move on to somebody else.
Yeah.
Why would it need to go to market or
No,
go on
exactly.
to Rightmove or go to? And the point there is that somebody registered with us then gets that benefit almost of being able to get in front of those people.
Yeah.
And who's to say if we did let it go on to Rightmove, Zoopla, whatever that may be, that they would achieve any more than the price that they've actually accepted. And in fact, in some cases, recently, in fact a lot of cases actually, people have paid more than what
Totally agree.
the price is, because they know that they're getting they're not fighting for it almost potentially.
They've got that special time. This
Yeah.
word escapes me again. They've got this special time that they know that they've got an opportunity to buy this house, so they've got to put in their best offer.
Yeah.
Okay, to achieve that. And like I say, I can give countless numbers of houses that I've put on the market and marketed that way, where the offer has exceeded the asking price, which has also exceeded the expectation of the vendor.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing a post from a other estate agent, and maybe he's just taken a bit of umbrage really, because he maybe can't do it, but he's says that people shouldn't do it. They should put it on the market for 2 or 3 months to see which is the best offer. In 2 or 3 months, it's a different market than what it is now, and that's the key. And sometimes, Mr. Other Estate Agent, it's not always the best offer.
It's the best
highest
circumstance.
Offer, it's always the highest offer. Yeah.
Yes.
It's always the highest offer, which is your best offer. Yeah, it's circumstantial. Kevin.
Well, just speaking of why would you wait 3 months, you'll hear in the press that the average sale time at the moment is about 22 weeks nationally.
Yeah, it's in and around that. Yeah.
Which is what 154. So it's 155 days, I think, something like that.
Right.
Is the.
You must have a calculator by you.
I'm
only joking.
But whereas at the moment we're actually operating on 92 days, so 3 months essentially. So if you waited 3 months to accept an offer, by accepting an offer from somebody on day one from ourselves, you could have actually be handing the keys over.
Yeah, with a shadow of a doubt.
At that time. So why would you try and wait for?
No.
It's a bit. I don't personally get my head around it. Let's say it's all about the vendor. And don't get me wrong, some vendors will say to us, look, great, I've got offers beforehand. If I've got offers like that, then I want to go and see what I can get when it goes on Rightmove and Zoopla. And that's absolutely fine. The vendors, it's up to our vendor.
They can make it. They can make an educated decision there, because all we can do is put the facts in front of them. And and I know the fact that the way that we work here in Preston, you work at Lancaster, we do not say, look, Mr. Vendor, you've got to take this offer. No. We put the facts to them and the position. They make their own decision, and I think the majority of people who can look at it that way, and I do think probably, Kevin, the majority of people that I deal with, I would probably say late in the high 90% of people realise that it's not always the highest offer, because just a quick argument's sake, you've got a house in the market at £200,000. That's the asking price. It's £200,000. Someone offers 198, nothing to sell. Just saying, might be 200. Offers 198, nothing to sell. Someone goes in and says, "I tell you what, I'll offer you 205, but there's 8 or 9 houses in that chain." Okay, if you can afford to proceed at 198, is it worth the gamble?
Well, I said they may have come to us and said, actually, I need 195 to move, so that's why I want it on at 200.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could have actually exceeded expectations by £3,000 anyway.
Yeah.
So it is different. But going back to the other reason why we advertise properties that we've sold is we obviously, if people have missed out on them, we want people to engage with us so that hopefully you won't miss out next time. We can't give you that opportunity to see that property early if we don't know who you are. So we want you to engage with us and speak with us, and we'll get you on our system, and then you will get in front of those properties as well before potentially they got the market.
I was going to say, sorry, another point on what you're just saying then is to alongside that, and I know this is what we do, you're probably going to allude to it, the fact that we also do it because we are looking out for our vendors. So people that express an interest in it, we've got your name and address, blah blah blah. And if anything happens to that initial offer, we can ring our vendors.
That was it. So so if a sale unfortunately fell through and something happened, or for some bizarre reason, then we've already spoken to these other people who potentially want to go and have a look at it. So that's a couple of reasons why we do it really. It is one of them where we just want to speak to people. We want to know people that we can help people. We can't do that without speaking to them. But the other thing as well is that if you're on a database, getting a property ready to go on to be marketed doesn't take an hour. You've got photos to sort out and prep, you've got virtual tours, you've got floor plans, you've got all the write-ups and descriptions to be able to do, you've got to speak with the vendor to make sure that they're all happy with everything that's going on, and that can be a 2, 3, 4 day process. EPC, that could be a 3-4 day process, let's say. Well, why wouldn't I try and put people, while this is going on, this is what we do, so while all this is happening and getting ready for marketing, well, that's when we're putting people in front of them, because why would we waste 4 days of time doing nothing?
Exactly, yeah.
That's where we want to, as estate agents, help.
Also, Kev, point out the fact, and this is the fact, more so in Lancaster, that even if that house is sold, and this is God's awful truth, because I've seen the emails going out, if that house sells before it goes anywhere near the market, both offices still photograph, still floor plan, still do all the video tours, still have everything prepared. So we're not doing it to cut costs. We're doing it. We actually do the full blown thing as well.
Yeah, well, we don't want to be on our heels if the sale does fall through. So if something does happen and it doesn't go ahead, well, you'd be on your heels and you'd be a week behind again, then, wouldn't you? So we continue to do that, because then we are in a good position if something happens. But anyway, that's some of the reasons why. Quite happy to. I'd love to talk to people about it in depth more. That's absolutely fine. That's what we're here to do, and that's what we want to do. And like I say, Howard, you just want to speak to people, don't you, and see how we can actually help people move. And that's just selling, renting, whatever, letting, buying, whatever that may be. Until we have a conversation with you, we can't help.
Yeah, I would say the majority of vendors I think they are quite happy how that progresses, because and they're very positive as well. Not only do they get what they want, or 99% times more than that, you just think how much less hassle do they have to do. They don't have to keep going around tidying the house, putting the kids' stuff away, sending the kids out with the dog and all that, and and vacating the house because we do the viewings. It's done and dusted. Well,
that is the other thing as well, is that at the moment you could end up having 20 people wanting to view, more in some occasions. So trying to fit in 20 people around your house, like you say, all the upheaval, the cleaning, with COVID as well, you can't do them. You couldn't have an open house at the moment. So if you had that many people, you'd just open the door almost and let people have a bit of a wander around. You can't do that at the moment, because we've got to keep people safe and distance and everything at the moment as well. So we've got that. So you could end up being. So if you had 20 viewings, you could be there for 7 hours.
Well, yeah, you could be. And the fact is as well, a house is only worth what it's worth. What I mean, it's a surveyor, and I would say the high percentage of transactions are with mortgages. The surveyor, even if someone offers 20 grand over the asking price, they've got to be very cautious of how they value it. So it's only going to be worth a particular price. So off those 20 people that look at it, how many people offer on it, who are proceedable, it'll always come down to best of both worlds, proceedability, and of course the correct common sense offer.
Cool.
What's the other reason why we advertise that we're selling them like Kev?
Go on then, pal.
Well, because that's what we do. It's our business, isn't it?
That is it.
Business, mate.
That is
that's
it.
What we do.
At the end of the day, we're a business, and we like to say that we've sold something or let something. That's just what we like to do. As a business.
We work very hard to do it, and it's like scoring a goal at football. Yeah. It's like that. We work very hard, and so therefore. Yeah. We're good at what we do, so that's how we do it. But we don't want to talk about us all day.
Yeah. Anyway, no, that's not. We'll end it there. But let's say if you want to have a chat with us about it, we're here.
Yeah. See if it works.
Comment, send us a message. It'd be great. Let's say we're love to have a chat with people.
I could do with more houses to sell in Preston and South Ribble, Kevin, if you can help me, or anyone else out there, because and Kev will come to some figures afterwards, but there's more selling again and again and again in Preston. Well, coming to the market.
I won't go into exact figures because obviously we've been on for 20 minutes already, and I don't want to take up too much time. Is that I'll just say that at the moment Preston is still heavily sales orientated. As opposed to new ones coming on. Lancaster and Morecambe has changed in the last month. There's actually slightly been more new properties come to the market, which is great news if you're wanting to look, because there's more out there for you to go and see. But Preston, not like that. It's still on a stock decline there. However, but
why, I don't know. It can be very frustrating. I was looking before on the news, and it says within the Lancashire area. This is according to Google now, that people searching for home renovations in the Lancashire postcode, Preston postcode, should I say, have gone for that's been searched for more in this last month than it ever has been for the last 2 years. And it's so basically there's not houses coming on the market. People are still looking for bigger houses. So what we're going to do, so they're looking at what house renovations are. And I've spoken to some builders as well, Kevin, as well. And what they're saying is they are more or less fully booked up for this year. They're looking at next year because there's that much demand, and the materials are very, very in demand. They're struggling to get materials because some of them maybe come from abroad, I don't know, but they're struggling to get materials, which means that when there is materials, and materials are going up in price, and it says an annex on average will give you about 15 to 20 grand. I think it's more than that. I don't know where Google's getting those prices from, but an annex and extension you buy will put on about 5% of your the house value. So is it worth that? I think what you've done, your dormers, you went up on the roof, didn't you?
Yeah, I've done a dorm up here, and I waited 7 months for tiles.
7 months, blimey days.
Yeah, so but I know what you mean. And loads of people are doing renovations, because as people have got more cash generally, because there's not been any holidays and all these sort of things. You're not being able to go to the pub generally and spend loads of money going eating out and all that sort of thing. So generally, people are more cash rich than they've probably ever been.
I just think people should leave the renovations. Just get your house sold.
Just, forget all that.
Send me a message. Get me a message.
Forget all that. Just go and sell your house. It's fine.
Honestly, that's what to do. Because they are selling. That's the thing. They are really selling, aren't they? But it's
brilliant.
No bother. So apart from that, end of May, June. By the time we come back, when we come back the second week in June, is it, Kev? Back in here, Mr. Kitchen will be with us, I dare say.
Mr. Kitchen. So it'll be around the.
Do you know, he has more holidays than Judith Chalmers, that lad.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that, won't I?
What's he doing? He's like...
I keep authorising him, and I don't know why. He must have had loads by now.
He must have done. I just don't know what he does.
Anyway, brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us. We're here for a chat. I say, if you want to talk about anything that we've discussed today, love to do that. If not, we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. But we are always here, and we do generally want to help. So. Enjoy your bank holiday weekend. Enjoy the sunshine that's forecast for Sunday and Monday. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. See you later.
Yeah. Happy weekend.